You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
We're excited to kick off our second annual Spring Road Tour as we are visiting some of the best-looking shops across the country. Come along as we give you a behind-the-scenes tour of some of the most successful lawn care, landscaping, and hardscaping companies and how they operate their business. This shop tour is brought to you by our great friends at Steel, Equipment Defender, Cujo Yardware, and Yard Book. We know that professionals like you trust and rely on the tools and equipment to make their businesses a success, and our partners mean business. Gear up, lock up, lace up, and line up your business for success in 2023 with the gear and equipment from our tour sponsors. We'll be releasing new Shop Tour podcast and YouTube videos every Monday as we take you across the country highlighting these entrepreneurs' businesses and their incredible shop builds. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, guys, we have a great podcast lined up for you today with Sam Rankin here with Etch Outdoor, all the way in Ankeny, Des Moines-esque area, Iowa. And I say that just because it triggers Corey Ballard. But any which way, that being said, awesome shop tour, awesome podcast that we got going on today with Sam. Young guy over there, like I said, in Ankeny, Iowa. They're growing like a fertilized weed. Etch Outdoor went from working out of his mom and dad's garage to doing $3 or $4 million here in about a 5 or 6 year window. They're acquiring companies left and right. They got a great young team of just launchpreneurs, landscapers, hardscapers, people that are just passionate about the industry, passionate about the business, and it shows. They had great culture when I was over there. They had a Friday cookout actually. And it was just so much fun getting to not only meet Sam and all the different rest of the people that were part of his executive team, but also getting to just hang out with all the crew members and the team members as well as we had this cookout. And it was just a barn burner. It was a great time. So any which way, Sam over there, and like I said, you got to give him a follow at Etch Outdoor on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. They're doing a lot of social media, and they're a gem that not a lot of people know about. And I really encourage you guys to give Sam a follow. Not only does he have a great business, but he's got a great business mind as well. And you guys will see a lot of that revealed here in today's podcast and show. That being said, I want to say a quick thank you again to Equipment Defender, Cujo Yardware, Steel, and Yard Book for making this spring shop tour series happen. This is actually the culminating podcast and YouTube video that we have from the spring shop tour series this year. And you know what? Guys, I'm just being honest with you. Like, it takes time and money to go film these things. So that being said, a plane ticket to Des Moines, Iowa was like $650. It's not cheap. And we did a double tap, actually getting to hang out with Corey and do some videos with Ballard. But then also, of course, getting to drive a couple miles up the road and get to hang out with Sam for the second half of the day. And it was just a great time. Great people out there. And the whole Iowa folks, they got it going on. And again, big shout out to Sam. So thank you, Sam, for taking time out of your busy afternoon to do this tour. It actually came together like 2 days or a day before. I reached out to Sam and said, hey, I'm going to be a mile down the road. You mind doing a shop tour? And he's like, who are you again? And any which way, it was a lot of fun. Sam's a great dude. He was a great sport. And it was just awesome getting to see what they're putting together. And I'm really glad that we were able to make it happen. So guys, hang tight. We're going to hear from Sam here in just a quick minute. But again, Sam, thank you to you, your team, for opening things up. You guys got it going on. And no doubt about it, you guys will be one of the next 5, 10, maybe $20 million companies, in the area if you guys so choose, because you guys are doing it right. So guys, that being said, let's kick it over to the podcast. Let's hear from Sam with Etch Outdoor.
Yeah, he is the one. He wanted to start his own thing. He wants to, and I'm like,
go for it.
Because I'll stop to you. It doesn't
day
bother me. He just took.
Here, bring this in just a little bit. Square it off. Yeah, there you go.
And
that's better.
So he's moving up to, or he lives up in Ames, which is like 40 minutes, but it's really close to our next shop, like where we're building.
Oh,
and so we're gonna. I would guess we'll get him back, but it's also like,
hey, go do your own thing. Sub it out.
I don't know if he doesn't fit our culture.
Okay,
At the end of the day, and we've had discussions like with our executive team and does he fit who we
seems very independent spirit.
very like,
and there's nothing wrong with that,
but not afraid to, like, if there's a decision that's made, like, he's not somebody that'll like, hey, this is the company decision.
Yes.
Like, oh, I don't agree with that.
Yes. Yeah. He's like, well, I can do it different, or what we should do. Yeah, that doesn't work out.
No, not a bit. Not a bit.
All right, you good? We're gonna hop into it.
Fire away.
We got everything going on. We're ready. All right, cool. I just want to make sure you got to get the thumbs up, All right, guys. So we are jumping on into it here. We've got another great podcast, hopefully a great podcast for you. This one's a new one for me, making friends all across the country. So we are over here in, is it still Ankeny?
This is still Ankeny, yes.
Ankeny, Iowa, which doesn't really do anything for me. I have no idea where I'm at. I do know I'm a mile down the road from Corey, but when I looked on Instagram Reels lately, I keep seeing this guy, Sam, Etch. And I'm like, who the heck is Sam and Etch Outdoors? And lo and behold, go figure, a couple weeks later, I'm sitting in the casa of the man himself. So, Sam, what's going on, brother?
Not much. Thank you for coming. It's a humble home. It's nothing crazy. A lot of OSB.
This is awesome. That's a lot of wood, actually.
This is probably worth more than the building is.
No, shoot. It depends when they bought it all, too, because if it was in the last 2 years, that's a couple bucks.
Yeah, it is good. Now, Corey's actually a great friend of ours. He's a mentor of mine. Yeah. Very lucky that he actually lives so close, because it is really cool to be friends with a guy that's so successful. So
Corey's an awesome dude, and he's got more his fingerprints around more people than people realize. If that makes sense. He's helped so many people. He's such a kind-hearted person. I know he's got the male bravado like nobody else, but nonetheless, he is a really, really nice dude behind the scenes and publicly too. So Etch Outdoor, you popped up on my Instagram feed. Quick shout out to all the folks that are working with you and social, and out of nowhere, I'm keeping getting these reels popped up, and you guys are talking about this whole outfit and this whole facility, and every video is different. It's something new, and I'm like, man, there's like a real operation here. I was working with Corey saying, hey, I'm coming out to film some stuff with Ballard, and I said, hey, who is this Sam guy? Is he on the level? Who is this? I said Joker, that's what you say. And he goes, no, Sam's a great dude. Like, he goes, you need to talk to him. You need to get him on the podcast. I go, I'm down for making new friends. So so some people that maybe don't know you or your whole story, that's what we're here for, man. What's going on in this neck of the woods?
Yeah, so beautiful part of the country, just 10 miles north of Des Moines. Awesome growing place. Like we're blowing up. When I moved here in 2000, it was 20,000 residents, and now we've got 70 plus thousand.
Is that right?
Yeah. So
booming market.
Yeah, we didn't have to grow really far to grow a company. We got very lucky with that. I'm just glad my parents moved here, to be completely honest.
Yeah. Are you born and raised in this area?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So been here since I moved to Ankeny when I was 4, and it was just a small little community, and now it's a hustling and bustling city.
Yeah.
We started my hockey coach actually when I lived in Denver to play hockey, did SEO work, and so started with Ankeny Lawn and Landscapes, because what do you want to do and where do you want to do it? It was Ankeny, and we want to do lawn and landscape services.
Well, there you go.
So
there you go.
That's what we started with. We scaled very quickly. We've been in business coming up on 5 years in May.
Okay.
And so it's been a pretty rapid growth, maybe a little bit faster than I can handle at all times, but got a really good team that has my back. We've been, just trying to push the social media stuff as something new that once we had a facility, we kind of tried to push it last year. And Kendall, our office admin and all of our social media and graphic design work, she really prompted me, and she still is like, hey, can we record today? Can we record today? And she's the one that actually pushes it. I was good at doing the stories and whatnot, but I was not able to do the short form content. I did a couple last winter, and they actually did pretty well, but having somebody that's what they're passionate about is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
It makes me look way better than I am.
I was going to say, it seems like you've got a lot of great people. I've only been here for a short minute, but that are in leadership roles or budding leadership roles. And I'm wondering if that's the key to some of your fast growth and success, is empowering your team, because you have a young group here. Yeah.
I mean, our executive team there's 3 of us. Cole, who runs our landscape production, and he was, he came home from college when I was just mowing and trimming after school.
Okay.
He's been here pre-Ankeny Lawn even.
Wow.
And then Jenna Bartlemy is our office admin, or office manager, excuse me, and she's a shark. She works so hard. People know that if they need something to get done, they just go bug her.
Okay.
Not me.
Yeah. Good cop, bad cop.
Oh,
no, I'm just
kidding. she's very good at what she does. She's very organized. She works so hard. Like, I've told her, hey, you don't need to keep working till 9 or 10 o'clock. She'll bug me at that hour, and I'm usually sleep at 8:45.
There you go.
But I'm very, very lucky. And our team, what are we, 22, 26, and 27? Like,
wow.
We're just, a couple of kids making $5 million, and hopefully we're not going to blow it. But but just trying to make calculated decisions and getting input from people who've done it, like people who are far bigger than we are and where we want to go, in order to be smart, be resourceful, and to keep growing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what's your background getting into the industry before that? Did you go to college route, or were you like push mowing, at 10, like a lot of guys, or what's that?
I was actually. I stole my first client from Corey Ballard. I knocked on the door across the street, offered him $15. He gave me 20. I thought I was rich right away.
Right.
I did go the college route. I don't know. I don't think it's a scam like the social media is saying it is these days, but I learned a lot, and I did a degree in finance. I graduated with 3.5. Good, but nothing spectacular.
Sure.
The two classes that I use every single day are accounting.
Okay.
Not actually anything finance. I don't know any stocks or bonds or nothing like that. But I always figured it would be far easier to teach a businessman how to do landscaping than a horticulturist how to actually run a business.
That's a good line. Yeah. Amen.
A horticulture person is maybe not the best in cash flow and reading a P&L and
more of an artist.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Where, the position I'm in, and it took a long time to get here, but the position that I am in now is making more influencing business decisions than it is which way are we going to stripe the grass this week. We don't do that anymore.
Sure.
It's having a team of really qualified crew leaders that make all those on-site decisions and don't have to bug a production manager or, elevate it even a step further. So, I went the college route. It was good. Still, every single day after school, I would drive home. I think I probably had 35 yards at that point.
Okay.
Just mowing, no irrigation, no fertilizer, nothing like that. And, just paved my way through college. I paid for my own schooling.
Wow.
I'm a little bit proud of that. I didn't want to owe anybody anything. My parents offered. I'm very lucky, but just wanted to do it myself.
That's awesome. So tell me the story. You're how old again? 24?
No, I'm 27.
27.
Yep.
Okay. So how long has Ankeny/Etch been around for then?
Yeah, so I graduated May of 2018, and that's, May 10th, 2018 is when we opened the doors.
So almost 8, 9, almost 10 years. No. 2018.
Yes.
So almost 5 years.
Yes, correct.
Wow. And doing a couple million, things are going good. You were telling me, and we can edit anything out, but you just acquired another outfit in January and growing like crazy.
Yeah, so we heard about an acquisition opportunity through the grapevine. Had a couple of questions, and I told him early on that I was curious to interested somewhere in that range. And we sat down, and I thought the asking price was a little bit high. I have a background in some M&A work, did an internship with Berkshire, so I'm very lucky that I knew how to do discounted cash flow, and I knew some different analysis.
What's that made for these guys that are mergers and acquisitions?
Yes, merger and acquisition. Yep. So I had some experience in that really helped.
It's an interesting topic that people need to know a lot more about. Especially if you guys continue to grow your businesses and get these businesses evaluated. I've been learning a lot from the big boys behind the scenes. That's like something that never gets brought up on a podcast, but I digress.
Yeah. And the big thing that it honestly boiled down to was a buy it versus build it equation.
Okay.
I knew that we could continue to push and grow. The company we acquired was in the 1.4 ish dollar mark, and it ultimately was a buy it or build it equation. I knew that we could grow 1.4 in maintenance revenue pretty quickly. I also saw that with where the economy was going, that 1.4 in maintenance operations was insanely lucrative. No, it's not at the 15 to 20% margin that you get on a landscape job, but it's going to be that mailbox money at 8-10% net profit that is enormous. And I don't think, especially with where we're going economically, that it's something you can live without.
Right.
So it scares me. We're so heavy in design, build, and construction that I struggled to continue to push that direction. And that's where my passion is. I'm far more passionate in that, but I had to change gears and to create a valuable business and not just, a business that can turn cash really quickly.
Sure. Something that's sustainable. And so many guys, Sam, they, and I've been saying this for years, and I get thrown under the bus all the time. Like as a mow guy, there's no money in mowing. There's mowing is just a means to an end and all this stuff. And I don't disagree with some of those statements, but at the end of the day, like if you can have your payroll taken care of with your mowing, and like you said, it's just mailbox money. It's just cash flow, right? At the end of the day, and that can fund the more exciting parts of your business. But man, I get, if you're not doing a $20,000 or $200,000 landscape install or paver install or whatever. And I'm like, whatever, folks, I'm not going to argue anymore with anybody. I did that for years, and I'm just like, you know what, whatever. I mean, everybody's got their own way to skin a cat, but
I mean, we're wrapping up an install that's, I don't even know what's that anymore, $4.25, $4.50.
Oh, okay.
But I had to sit on 6 figures of receivables all winter because we weren't, yes, it did hit our progress payment, but there were some unfinished things that the client thought were not warranty, but were part of the install. And so I said, I digress, that's fine. But if you're doing these large installs, you got to really structure payments, and you got to take, you got to turn it into mailbox money. Essentially, you got to turn it into such small, annoying payments almost that
right.
Otherwise you're going to be, you're financing the project for the client, and you're turning it into the bank, and that's coming off your line of credit. So you're paying now 8.5% on that money. And so I just think it's a sexy thing to do. That's what looks great on social media.
Well, that's a whole nother story, but yes.
but that's what's cool. And I just struggle, to see all these people. I've got friends that, heck, two years ago even, I was telling them, I'm probably getting out of maintenance. It's not for me. And then all of a sudden I go buy a new trailer of 3 or 4 mowers, and I'm like, oh, here we are. And it's a very simple business, which I think is actually the most attractive part of it.
Are you guys doing more residential, more commercial, a little bit of this, a little bit of that?
Yeah, last year we were far heavier in residential pre-acquisition. Now this year we are, 3 or 4 maintenance crews doing commercial, and then 1 doing residential.
Oh, okay.
Just one simple route. That route, we'll do landscape maintenance, FERT irrigation and lawn maintenance.
Oh, okay.
We're requiring, that full service, and they're pretty high-end clients that we work with on that. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, that's good. That's good stuff, man. So that's the 15-minute story of the 5 years for everything that's going on with Etch. But
it's been a grind, man. And people don't see it. I had a conversation yesterday with a guy that he's like, man, I just feel like I'm struggling to grow. Like I'm just doing everything. And I was like, dude, I'm literally driving to my mom's house right now to pick up checks. Like, the problems don't get any smaller, and you have the same problems. They just have more zeros.
Right.
Like that's truly what it is. And so I love it. I truly, I chose to create a business and not a job. I didn't have any desire to stay small. And I think there are guys that make a crap ton of money being small. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
No, it's just what kind of business you want to build.
Exactly. How many headaches do you want? How many hours do you want to work?
Well, it's funny you say that because Corey was just talking when we were driving from the airport to his place, and we're just catching up. And Corey and I both go 100 miles an hour, so we're just throwing up on each other about everything. And because we only see each other once or twice a year, and so you got 6-month debrief and 20-minute car ride. And but he was saying, they had their spring open house, whatever they want to call it, their team meeting, and it's 200 plus people out there. And he's just like, man, he goes, the amount of effort it takes to keep this thing moving, Perfect Cut and all the intricacies, and then just the admin and the systems and everything that's going on. And he goes, Brian, he goes, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. And we constantly have that conversation, like getting big, staying small. And, I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. It just depends where you're at in your life. What do you want to commit to, and where do you want to take things?
Absolutely. It would be a much easier decision for me to stay small if we didn't have the people we did. You saw, we just had, for those that obviously aren't here, we just had our spring kickoff as well. We did our culture champion, we did our birthdays, we did our work anniversaries, and I looked around the shop and it was like, wow, we got some really cool, good people.
Yeah.
And it was just an amazing feeling that, there's days I pinch myself like, wow, I own 20 trucks. And it's like the people behind it, our facility's nice, don't get me wrong, but we don't have the nicest trucks. We got nice trucks. They're not the best. We've got great machines. We've got good systems, but it's the people.
Yeah.
It truly boils down to, we have fantastic people that take pride in their work, that follow our core values, that do right for the client. And that's what it boils down to. And I'm very, very, very lucky.
When it comes to managing your landscaping business, you need a software solution you can trust. Look no further than Yardbook, the end-to-end software trusted by over 20,000 businesses in the landscaping industry. With Yardbook, you'll benefit from a platform that has already scheduled millions of jobs and processed millions of invoices. But that's not all. Yardbook is also renowned for its minimal downtime and user-friendly interface. And thanks to Yardbook's commitment to rapid innovation based on user feedback, you'll always have access to the latest features and enhancements to help you stay ahead of the curve. Ready to experience the power of Yardbook for yourself? Sign up today and discover why so many businesses in the landscaping industry rely on Yardbook to manage their operations.
Let me ask if you can quantify that with building a system in a company. The people of the company is the people. Somebody goes, we hear all the time on podcasts or YouTube or social media, like it's all about the people. Well, how do you find the right people? How do you put the right people, as they say, quote unquote, on the right seats on the bus? Have you just, quote unquote, found the right people for the right seats and got lucky? Or has this been just battle scars and like, hey, everything is fluid? Because there are a lot of people out there that want to go from, high 6 digits, maybe they're doing 7 figures, and they want to go to 2 to 4 to 5 million, and that's a grind from everybody I've talked to.
Yeah, the big thing that we've really pushed towards these last even 4 to 6 weeks of like everybody, we're hiring right now for the spring rush, and is really pushing our core values. So we have 5 core values. They're very, very simple: positive, can-do attitude, reliable and accountable, customer-centric, honest and ethical with integrity, and an ambitious go-getter. Simply put, we want good people, positive, can-do attitude, who want to move up, who want to grow, that want to make more money. I believe we do a high volume number of interviews. So on a normal week, I sit in anywhere from 8 to 10 to up to 20 interviews.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
We've never had a labor shortage. I personally, I don't believe in it. I don't think it was real. I think there was so many people that were hesitant to change the way that they managed and the way that they led, that they suffered in a time where employees had opportunities far greater than the number of opportunities that an employer could provide.
It was an employee market for sure.
It was.
People had choice, including staying home.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And if we didn't change as leaders, we would have had a labor shortage like everybody else. But instead, we chose to change. We chose to put the focus on our team. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. Yeah. You gonna take it?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, he can wait.
So it just is like, PNC Bank. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Sorry, that last check from that last landscape install.
It is a sub to pick up a check, actually.
No.
But it is, back to, it's all about the people. And that's what it is. We hired around our core values. We fire around our core values. We really want to, have a simple way to manage. And I would love if people steal our core values. It's the background of my phone. It's the background of all of our company iPads. I don't know, like it's been, a constant battle and a constant effort to really push that stuff. And it's not something that happens overnight.
Sure.
I don't know how many we got somewhere around 35, 40, 42 or maybe team members. But we've just been pushing and pushing and pushing on that. And so my quantifiable way, I guess, is do a high volume number of interviews so you get to choose.
Yes.
Do not, and I remember doing this back 2 years ago where I had 3 people show up to interviews. I probably offered a job to 2 of them, and maybe one of them was the right fit, but probably not.
Right. Yeah, you don't need a 98.6 to fill a seat or fill a mower. You know what I mean? You're trying to find the right people that are going to be here with weeks, months, and years from now.
Yeah, my favorite line is 2 feet of heartbeat and can fog a mirror. That's who I was hiring.
That's good stuff right there. So it's funny that you bring this up, totally unsolicited, and I was talking to Corey on the way, one of our trips, I think maybe from the, I think we had some burrito, like poncho?
Poncheros?
Is that what it is?
Ooh,
that was, that filled in the cracks. And I was like, Corey, I did not need to eat something like heavy like this, but it was really, really good. But from there to the Ballard products, he said, and I don't even know what we were talking about. We got on some rant and he said, Brian, the people that are talking about equipment, mowers, trimmers, blowers, whatever, the tools, the hardware, the equipment, he goes, most of those guys stay small. Mm-hmm. He goes, every single guy who, we were talking about the green grind, and he said, everybody that we've interviewed, and he had some guys on that did, 10 million, 300 million, 50 million, whatever. And he's like, you got to listen to this episode. He goes, every single person that's got a multi-million-dollar company or is growing past, just a team of 2, 3, 4, 5 guys, it's always, quote unquote, the people. Mm-hmm. And he goes, it's always the people. It's always the people. So what's your thoughts on that? Because I asked you, I said, hey, Sam, I said, you want to talk equipment? You want to talk people? You go, honestly, Brian, I'd probably lose some credibility about the equipment. You're like, I don't even know. But I can give you some people in the office that do know what's going on.
Absolutely. Like, that's their decision to make.
Yeah.
You know, we had one of the higher up Gravely reps here.
Yeah.
Great guys, great, you know, and I told him, I said, honestly, we've got a Gravely mower. It's great. That's the extent I know.
Makes tall grass short.
The guys don't complain about it.
Sure.
Like, that must be a good mower.
Yeah.
My favorite is like, I want an Encon. I think they're sick.
Yeah.
All the craze on social media. But if you look at all the guys that run them, the operators or the owner is always the one in the seat.
Totally, yeah.
That is a guy who owns his job. Not a bad thing. The guys that have those machines make it look so easy, and they're not using shovels.
Right.
Right. They're making it look very easy, but it is never about the equipment. You can use any old mower that you can fix up. You can use any piece of machinery. Do we like newer stuff because our guys like it better?
Right.
Absolutely. But do I truly care about what brand? No.
Right.
The equation is, does it make me money? Am I going to have a return on my investment, which is the purchase price of the asset?
Which is the conversation as a business owner should be anyway. I mean, really, like, you built this thing to provide an income stream to hopefully provide a lifestyle. I mean, I don't want to say it's a means to an end, but it's kind of, that's what your businesses are. And some people get so lost, like you said, in would you say it's an accurate statement? Like, their self-image is their business is their self-image. I
talked to Corey about this yesterday or Wednesday, actually, when you're going to fly out.
Yeah.
Because truth be told, Brian said he was more worried about my tea time than shooting videos for Corey. So
I did say that just to see what Corey would say. Because, dude, I once we get to know each other more, like, I like to poke the bear. Oh. And so I said, hey, man, we got to work around Sam's tea time just to see what he said. Oh my God.
So pissed.
Did he? I got in the car with him this morning. He goes, he used choice language. He's like, frickety frack with Sam with his damn tea times. And I said, yeah, tell me more. And dude, so I'm just like playing, I was the funniest stuff ever. He's like, I'm like, Corey, I don't know what triggered is, but I think that's it. Oh, yeah. And he's like, well, he's got to play big boy level if he wants to get on with the podcast. I'm like, I said, I'm not really that big of a deal, but thanks, man. I appreciate the one up, like making me feel important.
Gosh. But I don't even remember the question you asked.
Well, I said some people's businesses are self-image and they're
yes.
At least like the work that they do or the technician of what they do. And like, that's not a bad thing. But again, if you're trying to build a bigger business, you got to kind of remove some of that ego.
Yes. And I had this conversation downstairs with our designers today is I am no longer passionate about drawing in CAD. I have zero desire. I love doing concepts. I love doing big pictures. I'm still passionate about like the big picture stuff, but I have no desire to make sure a plant's at the right elevation. I have no, make sure a wall's sitting right. I have no desire for that stuff. I have an image that's so wrapped up in being an entrepreneur that, like, one, I'm entirely unemployable anywhere else.
Sure,
I know that. Sure. But two, like, that's my identity. My identity is not in the landscape projects. It's not in the maintenance. But being an entrepreneur that communicates, that has relationships built with clients, that they, honestly, if we make a mistake, they give us a little bit of leeway because they know it's not because we don't love what we're doing and are working hard for them. That there was just an honest mistake. And so, I think there's a little bit of a shift that a lot of guys struggle with, that you get to a certain point and they're the problem. It's not it's not the team, it's not the equipment, it's not the software that you run. There's so many owners that are the linchpin of the business that every piece of information has to flow through them to be able to either go to a client or to a team member. I am giant, like, we get guys that knock on my door all day, which I love. Like, I love our team and they're awesome, but our office manager put my schedule outside. So A, I could get work done, but B, so they would go talk to their supervisor about it.
Cool.
Because they're the ones who are making the decision anyway.
Right.
I'm probably just going to tell them, hey, I can talk to Brett or I can talk to Cole for you. But the decisions don't all need to be made by me.
Right.
I don't, honestly, I'm probably the one with the least information about it.
Sure.
I'm just going to be able to live with the consequences that if I'm wrong, well, it was my decision anyway. So I guess my fault. But
no, that's solid, because we've done a couple different podcasts and shop tours lately with a lot of the guys on the tour. We have some really good guys that have been on $3, $5, $8 million type size companies. And, it's really interesting to me. I always say success leaves clues, and success, once you start distilling some things down, it actually comes down to a couple basic principles typically, right? And they're very, very similar. like the colors might be a little different. The crew, of course, looks different. The focus of work might be a little bit different. But the core of the business, the core values, the systems, the good people. Everybody's got like Kendall over here, and then Jenna, right? And there's like those type of folks everywhere. Support players, key players, and it's interesting to see like that's what a company is. A company is nothing more of just your people.
It's an assembly of people that work hard and are good at what they do. Like, you don't need to be the best. Like, I'm most definitely not the best designer. I did it out of necessity. I'm definitely, I tell our guys that I'm the best at mowing, but probably have lost that touch a little bit too. I got on one the other day and I'm like, man, this feels so loose compared to what I remember. Like, this thing doesn't feel tight. Maybe we need to fix it up.
It just keeps stalling out. You're like, the safety lever. Yeah, darn it. It's been a minute. Yeah.
Yes. But there's so many people that do things that I all of a sudden look like this all-star that's so wildly intelligent. It's like, no. You're all wrong. Like, I've got people that selfishly, it's the most proud thing is like, I've got people that are having success and like we're celebrating the wins that, Jeremy, our account manager, he would send out like $150,000 in bids a day. Like he was just, give me the bid list and I'll get them sent out. I'll get them all measured and we'll get accurate quotes to them. And we knew that, it was a spring bid list. Like they're only going to convert at maybe 15%. Like we knew, but we played the volume game. Yeah. We sent out those high dollar prices and, the folks that took them, I think they're going to be absolutely excited that's awesome. We're the ones doing their business. But, having the people to move the needle for you. Like I'm part of a peer group, and so I'm gone once a quarter for about a week, and I have no doubts that things are going to get done when I'm not there. I referee college hockey, and I had a series over in Omaha, and I remember texting one of our snow production managers, and I was like, "Hey, like, you want me to build routes? Do you want me to?" And he's like, "No, we got it.
Yeah.
We'll just take care of it.
We got it, dude."
And I'm like, "Well, can I?" He's like, "We're fine."
That's awesome.
And I was like, we work so hard to not be needed in the business, but as soon as you're not needed, it's like, oh crap,
they don't need me.
Like, I want to be like, and then you're like, oh, what do I do now? Like, I gotta be important. And it's like, it's okay not to be important. Right. It's okay to be on the sidelines and to have the people that do really good things. And so, no, it is a different scenario. I mean, there's been a shift even with us last year. Or I guess 2 years ago, we did just under 900,000. Last year, we did 2.25, and this year we should do between 4 and 5 million. Mm-hmm. The growth year over year has forced us to create new systems every single year. We've been through about every software in the book. We finally settled on what I think is the biggest software.
What are you guys using, if you don't mind me asking?
No, I don't mind. We use Aspire.
Aspire,
okay. We just moved to that. We actually, last year we used Synced Up. Weston Zimmerman, great guy.
Yeah.
And I told him, he actually came to a podcast here, and I told him that I was leaving. And I said, honestly, your software did a great job. Yeah. It actually propelled us very quickly. And now, instead of using Service Autopilot and Synced Up and then trying to halfway sync that to QuickBooks and doing manual entry, like, we're just like, all right, we're done. We're just, it's expensive. Mm-hmm. It is the most expensive software I think you can buy. Mm-hmm. But it was a way to have all of our systems under one roof. It captured equipment, invoicing, payable, and it forced job costing, and so many things that we were missing. We'd broken systems year after year after year, and now this is one that I know companies 30, 50, 70 million that are using this software. So it's like, okay, well, yes, it's a lot to chew on, and it's expensive. However, knowing that we have a software that can grow with us. Yes, everybody says, oh, they're a partner in your business. Yes, I know. And that part stinks, but finally I gave up and I was like, all right, we just got to do it.
Well, that until you build your own proprietary something in-house, right? It's funny. The biggest guys that I've been able to interview, everybody's doing their own thing in-house. And I'm like, and talking to Weston and many other folks, I'm like, hey, and my friend Alan Hain, I'm like, so how's that going? Like, you just see the eye rolls, and then it's like the Supreme money gun, it's like, it's basically on that level. Just burning through cash.
Yes, and I would love to. Like, I know a guy on Instagram actually that he uses like Zoho, I think.
I got it.
It's got a bunch of different things that you can integrate and
lawn care software or something.
No, it's like just a general like CRM software, but like it's all custom built. So
you need like Mondays or something. What do they call it? Like
kind of similar.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Similar. Yeah. And he's using like guys from Fiverr and Upwork and all that are like creating these modules, and I guess it's gonna work, but I still feel like that's another Band-Aid solution. Like it just
totally.
I until you get to be with the big boys, and we're so far from it.
I was hanging. I'm trying to think, run it through my Fullerton filter, like whether or not I want to share this story. But I was saying with a guy, big size company, actually like pretty decent size, like almost 8 digits. And he's like, man, don't put this on anything. He's like, but we are pen and paper. And I was like, yeah. He goes, dude, nothing's out there like able to keep up with what we're doing and growing and all this other stuff. And he goes, I have like 1 or 2 extra office staff, admittedly, but he goes, that's what's working for us. And it was just a different approach. But like if I said that on, out loud, people go, crucify him, but it's like, dude, that's just what's working for him and his company. And by the way, like they have 7,500 employees. They're growing like crazy, incredible setup, incredible business. Yep. And then, so it's like, one part of it's like, why judge the guy that's, crushing it, and what's working for him is working for him, yes. So, I mean, again, every company's different, but, a lot of the core values seem to be very similar.
Yeah, that's what people don't see. That's the things that you're really not showing on social media.
Right.
Social media is a glorified picture of what we do here. Those are our best days, and those are the things that we obviously care to share. It's what's attracting team members, and it's what
it's a highlight reel.
Sharing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know if you heard this, but I say on my podcast, I'm like, I wish there was a 4th tab. Like the 3 or 4 tabs. Yep. The low light reel. I'm like, give me the low light reel tab. Like, give me the part where you're crying your eyes out, you don't make payroll, or you borrow something to make payroll, you smash something. I did a video, smash my bumper, smash the taillight out. It was, I don't know, 3Gs or something like that. Yeah. Stupid thing. We have a deductible, all that mess. But nonetheless, it was like, admittedly, black eye. Mm-hmm. But then I did a YouTube video, and people were like, hey, thanks for actually filming this and showing this. Like, no, most people don't even do this anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, good, bad, or ugly, I'm not a finished product.
Well, and the number of times that I've sat here until 7, 8 o'clock, I shut the lights off, and it's a grind. And you got music playing, you're just trying to get caught up, get your head above water, or you go home. And I'm very, very lucky that I've got a girlfriend that supports me through and through, that she sees hopefully the end picture, that I may not have to work 60, 70 hours a week every week forever. But she's like, I can tell you're stressed. Like, just go back to work. Like, just go work, go get stuff done. I'll be fine. I'll hang out with the dogs. And that's exactly. And the next day I'm like, okay, like I'm at least not quite floating, but I'm treading water per se. We're staying heads above water. Yep. Maybe have a snorkel. I am underwater, but it's sometimes like those things don't go away. The highlight reels don't show that, like, it doesn't matter. And I think everybody top to bottom, no matter who you've interviewed in a podcast or who you visit on shops, I think absolutely everybody would say the exact same thing.
Totally.
That it's it might be a choice to be an entrepreneur and for the lifestyle that it could create. Mm-hmm. But all those conversations and all those people saying, must be nice, they'll never see what it actually takes.
We're building a home right now, and I'm sure somebody's going to go, 99% of people are like, dude, awesome, congrats, great job, good for you, you deserve it. But, and I sincerely appreciate all that, all those attaboys, of course. And then, of course, there's some people like, must be nice. I'm like, you mean the part where I didn't sleep for 7 years? Like growing my company, growing my social media company, growing my lawn care company. I'm like, I don't know how I could physically do more other than, of course, hire people and build a team, which we've been doing simultaneously. And, but dude, like, I recognize around here, like, I always joke, like, you can tell it's like fresh stickers or fresh paint, like, or fresh logos. I'm like, not just you guys, but everybody that's growing that fast, that rapidly. Like, you don't have time for things to, like, for the paint to, dry and the concrete to settle. You just grow.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's a fun hustle. It's crazy to see you guys grow.
It's an absolute blast. And like, that's what I've caught myself a couple times. Is like, that's what I find identity in, is like, I love sales. I love growth. Like, and I've had a conversation like that could be my fatal flaw someday.
Sure.
I wake up and I love to sell. Like, I love to grow, and
the challenge, the hustle, the pursuit.
Yes. Like, that's so much fun. Like the motivational podcast speeches, and it's always like some guy from like Africa or something with a great accent that just gets you fired up.
Yeah.
Like,
Les Brown screaming at you.
Yes. Yeah. And it's awesome that, like, we have production staff that, like, take care of getting done what we sold, because otherwise it would be unfulfilled promises.
Gotcha.
And I know, like, that's the flaw of me. And so let's fill those positions that are maybe better at those things than I am. Same way, like, I started the grill. It was great. But then as soon as you rolled up, like, maybe had the first burgers and a couple dogs on the grill for the team meeting. I was like, somebody else could grab this now. Like, I got her set up and fired up.
That's awesome. Well, it was funny. Here, we'll button it up with this because we're going to actually go film the shop tour. Yeah. So I invite you guys to check it out on the Brian's All Maintenance YouTube channel. And again, thanks for opening up all this. It was actually pretty quick last minute. I'm like, hey, actually, dude, I'd love to have you on. This would be really, really cool.
This was Tuesday for a Wednesday, by the way.
Yeah, I said, hey, no, it was Monday. It was Monday, right? Did I call it Monday? I thought I called it Monday.
Remember.
Whatever. It was like within a day or two. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be swinging by. Do you mind? Like, would you like to say, hey, we want to make friends? And you go, dude, actually, yeah, like low key, that would be pretty dope. And I was like, yeah, for real. You're like, dude, like, can we do like, you're doing those shop tours, right? I'm like, yeah. He goes, you should see what we got going on. And you were like humble, and actually, here's a quick thing. And I don't know if you're ever like, want a kudos, but this is a kudos. I was talking to Corey on the way here and all this mess, and he goes, because I was like, hey, so tell me more about Sam, because I'm, excited to hang out with him, and he seems like he got good things going on. And he goes, I see a lot of Sam, me and Sam, the younger Corey and Matt, with Perfect Cut 10, 15 years ago. And he goes, they're hitting it like we hit it back when we were their age. And I go, yeah. I go, tell me more. He goes, they're, what do you say, like, wind on fire, head on fire, hair on fire kind of a deal. He goes, they're growing. He goes, he just acquired something that we were looking at. He goes, it made more sense for them. We passed on it, but Matt or Sam was totally excited about it. And he goes, that's what we were doing. He goes, that's what we were doing back, 10, 15 years ago. So like, the people say like real respect's real, whatever that means. And, but Corey and those guys, I know like they're looking at you guys and you guys are making a splash. And you know what? It's really cool to see the symbiotic, the friendly competition and healthy, growing together. Like people are like, oh, there's such competition. It's like, oh no, I respect what they do. Like I really value what they do. And there's a couple others that are really what I would call high end players in our market that I struggle to even think that we compare some days because they do such fantastic work. They're good people. They're respectful. They make our industry better. Yeah. And I would like, truth be told, I don't ever like to lose, but if I had to lose somebody and I lost to them, I'd be like, you know what? You're going to be in great hands. Like, right. I get it. Right on. 100%. And so, it's really cool. And I greatly appreciate those words from him. And he's a mentor of mine that I can't thank enough, that I don't think he ever understands it, how much he gives. That like I take it all in because I'm like, this is the good stuff. He was proud of you guys. And then we get here, we're all just talking trash, of course, because that's what we all do. And he's like, man, he goes, Sam, you got to find some pants that fit you or something like that. He goes, you're wearing little ankle pants. And then I said, Corey, I said, relax, dude. I said, what's your inseam? Like 18? Like I said, so we're all just start busting each other's balls. But it was good stuff. But you can tell it's a healthy banter, and he's really proud. I mean, you guys can see, like, you guys have a bunch of great stuff going on, man. Thank you. Let's do this real quick. We'll button it up. We're gonna go do the tour, but I'll try to give you guys like the last word, if you will. Any final thoughts or anything that you guys want to leave these guys that maybe was an instrumental thought to get you where you guys are at today? Absolutely. A couple of things that I really attribute a lot of my success to is, one, always be a learner. You can never take up too much knowledge. And I told you this, one of my favorite videos of yours, and I actually sat down, my girlfriend went out to bars one night, and I sat down with a whiskey and watched all 3 of your toy clock videos. Oh, yeah. And just ate that stuff up. He's the man. There is always somebody doing more. As soon as you think you know it all, you're done, and you're going to be out of business before you know it. So one, always be a learner, always be a student. 2, a couple really good books that actually our office manager has it on her desk right now, but Traction, a really good way to systematize your business. E-Myth, make sure you're in the right mindset, whether you're a technician, a manager, or an actual entrepreneur. Yep, business owner, investor, yep. Those are absolutely 2 of my favorites. And the third one, Simon Sinek, what's your why? Yeah. Figure out why you're truly doing something. I think it really, allows you to have something deeper in your head. It's not, at the end of the day, it's not all about the dollar signs. We've got 40 plus lives we're impacting here. When you factor in everybody else from at home, we're impacting 75 plus lives that our paychecks touch. And so that's my why. There's always something bigger to it. And so, those are a couple things. And if anybody, I love helping now. I feel like we're at a point in our business life cycle where we have a little bit of street cred. I'm not, no universities, no courses we're doing or anything like that. Just DM me on Instagram. Say hey. Say hey. And like, if you have questions, I'll give you everything I got. I don't know it all. I can probably tell you more often what doesn't work than what does work. Sure. But we're just at Etch Outdoor on Instagram and TikTok, and
hit us up. We're happy to help.
I love it. One last thing. I gave you the last thought, but one last question in case somebody's wondering, because I had this question. Yeah. What's Etch? What does Etch mean?
So we were, like I said, we were Ankeny Lawn and Landscape up until July of last year.
Okay.
We started going outside of Ankeny, which is our community. B, I didn't feel like Ankeny Lawn was the company that was going to come in and do like a really impressive design build, and it wasn't like that high-end maintenance company that I really wanted to push. I sat and looked through a thesaurus forever, like trying to find every word possible. Finally, I found Etch, and I truly love it because it's a verb. Mm-hmm. It's something that we're doing, and so I love that it's, Etch is to scribe, and I really want to leave a lasting legacy on somebody's backyard, on the the property maintenance we do, and also on this industry. And I came up with it all myself. I literally wrote out the logo, hired a guy on Fiverr to put it into a AI format so I could put it on shirts and trucks and stuff. Came up with the colors. I didn't want green because that's what color everybody is. I like the red. We have blue. I just wanted something that was different. And then, truth be told, selfishly, I wanted something that looked cool on my shirt when I wore it to the bar.
Yeah.
So
yeah. That works, bro.
Yeah, that's important. So.
Hey, the real truth comes out. What you why, right?
Yes, exactly.
Simon would be so proud of us. That's awesome, man. Well, that's all I got for right now, man. We'll go do the shop tour, and I got to catch a plane. We're on Central Time, right?
Yep.
I still don't know how to read this thing. I have no idea. Corey got it. For me, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Looks cool, though.
It's half the time it's not even set. I have no idea. It's a whole thing. I made Corey bet, and
winners win.
Don't bet against me, bro. And so any which way, it's a whole other story. But anyway, we're gonna button up right there. Where can people find you, brother?
At Etch Outdoor on everything, on social media. Kendall, our office admin.
Shout out to Kendall, by the way.
Social media manager. She will get it, and usually she will say, "Sam, you got to reply to this right now because this one looks important." So I check it all the time, though, day and night, and hit us up. We'd love to connect. Anybody in the area, come say hi. Yeah,
and if you guys need a job and you're in the area or something like that, say hey too. They're always hiring.
Absolutely. Always hiring good people.
And thanks, Kendall, for making all the reels, because that's how I found you guys on IG about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And keep doing what you guys are doing, and can't wait to see where things keep going.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right, guys. Well, guys, hang tight. We'll come right on back.
Are you ready to take your landscaping business to the next level? Introducing Yardbook, the end-to-end business software that has helped tens of thousands of small businesses get organized and grow. With Yardbook, you'll have everything you need to streamline your operations and boost your bottom line. Say goodbye to manual paperwork and hello to effortless business management. Our software covers all phases of business management, including CRM, lead management, estimation, job scheduling, billing, payments, analytics, and more. Plus, with a strong set of features in the free package, early-stage businesses can get started right away. Yardbook is the trusted source for landscapers who want to save time, increase revenue, and improve customer satisfaction. Don't let your landscaping business fall behind. Give Yardbook a try today.
All right, guys. Well, that's what we got for you on today's podcast. That was an awesome show. Thank you so much to Sam and his whole team for making this thing happen, opening up the place, opening up the facility. Again, they were having a Friday team meeting and company kind of barn burner. They were grilling steaks and burgers and hot dogs. It was just a lot of fun, to be honest with you. And not only getting to catch up with Sam and his whole executive team, his leadership team, but also getting to hang out with the 30 or so employees that were on staff, on site, and just to pick their brain. What's working, what's not working, what do you guys like? And they got just such a fun, upbeat team, such a can-do attitude and culture there. And I think that's why they're going to be one of the next regional players over there in Des Moines, Iowa. So that being said, this is the 8th podcast. This is the 8th YouTube video that's going to drop tonight, 3 p.m. on the Brian's Lawn Maintenance YouTube channel. And that's it. That's what we got for the Spring Shop Tour series. I invite you guys to go back through the playlist, check them out, see how guys are, putting their shops together, their office spaces together. We've had people on that have a couple $100,000 a year business. We've got guys that have a multi-million-dollar businesses and plus, showing you guys their HQs, their facilities, their shops. And I'm telling you what, it was very interesting and very exciting to get boots on the ground, like pull back the curtain and see how people are running their businesses. And I hope you guys really appreciate the effort that we put into this series. One last thing, as you guys can imagine, thank you to Equipment Defender, Steel, Yardbook, and Cujo Yardware for making this happen. Plane tickets are not free. Hotel stays are not free. Gas money is not free. Time away from the business where I could be producing in the field is not free. And so I just want to say thank you to those guys for partnering up with us and really believing in the mission to help you guys get the latest and greatest info you can to help you guys grow your company. And you know what? If you guys get a great shop, If you guys got a great facility, if you guys are building something in the next 6 months, 12 months, or you just put up some the finishing touches on yours and you want to be a part of the future shop tour series, shoot me an email, brianslawmaintenance2007@gmail.com. We'll be doing a winter shop tour series here before you know it, and I'm sure we'll maybe even run it back again next year spring. But you know what? If you guys are enjoying this stuff, let Steel, Equipment Defender, Cujo Yardware, and Yardbook know. Let them know that you appreciate their support making this stuff happen. That way that they know that their quote-unquote money is going to work for them to help reciprocate with the content that we're creating for them. So that being said, guys, appreciate you listening in. Let's kick it back over to Marty, Mr. Producer, and we'll button this thing up.
Tickets for the green industry's largest trade show and event, Equip Expo 2023, are now on sale. Brian has arranged a way to help you save 50% on registration for you and your entire team. Simply use promo code Brian at checkout to save half off, and we'll see you this October, the 17th through the 20th in Louisville, Kentucky. We'll also provide you a special link in the show description. Hi, I'm Mr. Producer, and one more thing. If you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you need our free email newsletter. It's delivered 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. Join our mailing list to stay connected to the world of lawn care and get exclusive access to the latest and greatest from Fullerton Unfiltered and Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Don't miss out on this opportunity to stay ahead of the curve and elevate your lawn care game. Sign up now with the link we've provided in the show description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.